I'm glad my mom has dementia. There, I said it. It's a hard thing sometimes to discover things about ourselves. Before you think that it is a really bizarre thing, that I would be grateful that my mom has dementia, let me explain. I'm Joni, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're not new to my channel, you kind of know a little bit about the history of me and my mom and how much she has meant in my life. But for those of you who are new, let me explain for just a second, and then we'll get right back to it. I had polio when I was 2.5, and my mom vowed that day in the hospital that if I lived, she would devote her life to taking care of me. And she has. She has made me into the successful person that I am. When they encouraged her to put me in an institution or put me with others like me, she refused. I was her child, and she took me home. And she did everything in her power for the rest of my life to see that I had as typical life as anyone, as my brother and sister. Now, it was the late 50s, so it was a difficult thing to do through the 60s and 70s, but she did it. When I was little, I would get into the biggest panics thinking of my mom not being here, of my mom dying, of me dying. I would get so panicky I couldn't even breathe. And she would always calm me down. But you also have to remember that in the disability world, institutions, typical people call them nursing homes, assisted livings now, that always looms over our heads. Because people believe that keeping someone in their home is less expensive than in the nursing homes. It's typically not, especially for people with significant disabilities like mine. It's not cheaper to be in a nursing home than it is to be in your home. In fact, it's way more expensive. In most places, there's always going to be an exception. So, all my life, I sort of felt like that was looming over me. That when my mom died, I always said throughout my life, probably clear into my 40s, that I wanted to die before my mom. Because I didn't believe that I could live on my own without my mom to back me up. You have to understand that, like, when personal care aides didn't show up, my mom did. I would call my mom. There was only one time in the last, since 1986, only one time that I can remember she wasn't there. And that was the day that every backup failed. And that's what life does sometimes. But I lived through it. So why would I have the audacity to say that I'm glad my mom has dementia? Because it occurred to me this morning when I was doing some Ho'oponopono meditation that even in my mom is 90, she's going to be 91 in August, and even in her dementia state, she's still taking care of me. And why do I say that? Because half the time she doesn't even know who I am. But had my mom just died of a heart attack or whatever, just suddenly died in her sleep, I would have been devastated. I would have been so knocked for a loop, I can't even explain it, because she would have suddenly been out of my life. My mom has progressively had dementia for the last 4, 5 years, 6, that we didn't even know. She has gradually pulled away. I have gradually learned how to stand on my own 2 feet, how to be who I am without my mom. And I feel like it was an aha moment for me today. That even in this, my mom gave me her dementia. I mean, didn't give it to me, but she chose that way to end her life, because I wouldn't have been able to handle it had she just left. And I know that may be a crazy concept for some people, but I think we choose our life. I think we choose how it begins, how it ends, and who we're with. I can make it. I can keep myself out of a nursing home. And my mom has given me that. And so I'm grateful that she chose the dementia. And it's my role now to help keep her safe. She's in her home. She has personal care aides 24/7. And it's my role to keep those aides being good aides and to keep her cupboards filled and to take care of her. I love my mom deeply for taking that way out. And if you have someone that you love that has always been there for you, whether they're old or middle-aged or whoever they are, tell them how much you love them, how grateful you are for their presence in your life. Thanks for watching. If this resonates at all with you, I hope that you share it with someone who is maybe going through something similar. I hope that you like it, that you comment, tell me your story. And of course, I hope that you subscribe and come back.